Hey everyone, Josh here. We're going to do an unboxing video today. Today we are going to unbox an Imperial AT-ACT driver from Rogue One, and this is a Target exclusive. So let's get into this guy. Alright guys, here we are with the Imperial AT-ACT driver. And if you do not know what an AT-ACT driver is, they appeared in Rogue One when they were on the planet Scarif, and that was the tropical looking planet with all the palm trees. And if you remember when they were having the big battle sequence on the ground, the AT-ACTs were the big Imperial walkers. Now, to those of you who aren't serious hardcore fans, you may not know those were not the same walkers that you saw in The Empire Strikes Back. They're two different kinds. The one you saw in Empire Strikes Back was an AT-AT, an AT-AT, all-terrain armored transport, and the one that you saw in Rogue One was different. It was an AT-ACT, and it was more of a vehicle designed for moving and hauling materials and things rather than combat. Now, it did have lasers on it, and it can fight, but that was not its primary purpose. So, for those of you who didn't know, when you see one of these characters, this is the driver of one of those Imperial walkers, an AT-ACT. Okay, so that's who he is. Okay, so before we cut this thing open, I want to spin this thing around a little bit and show you the rest of the packaging. And one thing you may notice, it is not numbered, and it was explained to me by someone else that when you come across a Black Series that is unnumbered, and you'll see here, like I have a Captain Cassian Andor box, and he is number 23. So you can see the difference between a numbered and an unnumbered figure. And what that was explained to me is when you have an unnumbered figure, that means he was a particular store exclusive. Now, I don't have any kind of marking on here telling me that this is a specific store, but I will tell you I bought this at a Target store, so I'm assuming that that means that this is a Target exclusive. That's where you would find an AT-ACT driver, and that's where I found this guy, okay? So, real quick here. Okay. Got a little description on the back here, and I'm going to go ahead and read that to you. The Empire's combat drivers are trained to handle everything in the Imperial ground arsenal, from heavily armed AT-ATs to the more utilitarian AT-ACT walkers. And that's what I was talking about. The AT-ATs, that's what you saw in The Empire Strikes Back. And the utilitarian AT-ACT walkers are what you saw in Rogue One. Now, they did look very, very similar, but if you go online and look up some pictures, you'll see there are some differences between them. So I just hope everyone understands what we're talking about. Okay, so let's cut this guy open. I'm dying to get into this figure. I've been looking at him in a box for a while. I want to see him out of the box. All right. Okay. All right. There he is, guys. And as you can see, comes with a nice blaster rifle there. And one thing I'm learning about these Rogue One packaging is you need to be careful when you pop these things out, because they will shoot across the room. So kind of put your hand over it to catch it. But there you go. There is your Imperial blaster. And let's get him out of there. Wow. Okay. All right, guy. Are you going to stand for me? Very cool. There he is, guys. Let me go ahead and spin him around real quick so you guys can get a look at him. Very nice. I already like it. And one thing I do not see on this guy yet, I got to look at him a little bit closer. I do not see a holster or any way to attach his gun to him. Most of these guys so far have had a holster, some way to attach the weapon to it. But I do not see that on this character. So, okay, let's check his blaster out. And very nice. He's got a trigger finger out, and wow, there's so much articulation on these figures. They're amazing. But there you go. You can see, as you can see, it's a little tough because his gloves are black, but he's got black on black doesn't film that well. But as you can see, he's got a little blaster rifle with his trigger finger out, and the trigger finger lines up very nicely with the trigger guard of the blaster. And one thing I really appreciate about the accessories on these Black Series too, they put so much detail even in the accessories. You can see the actual chamber is a different color. It's a silver color on the blaster. Very nice. And yeah, although I have to admit I'm a little disappointed, I do not see any way to attach the weapon to his belt or anything like that. I was kind of hoping for that. But beyond that, let's check out his movements real quick. Very cool. And it does not appear that the visor moves or anything like that. But he does have up and down head movement, and it does not appear that it goes side to side. And let's see here. Wow, very nice. Okay, so he has shoulder movement up and down and around and around. And then you have two directional elbow movement as well. You can go up and down with the elbow, and then it also spins. And then you have two directional wrist movement as well, but it seems to be a little limited due to his armor, and it spins as well. But you have a little bit of up and down movement, and then it rotates as well. And then, as you can see, you can kind of bend him at the mid-torso, so you can up. Very nice. There's a lot of movement in this figure. So he bends back and he bends forward. Okay, and then let's look at his hips real quick here. Okay, and you can see he's got hip movement. Two directions. You can go up and down and back and side to side on both arms, or excuse me, both legs. And then we have knee movement and ankle movement. And it looks like the ankle, no, I'm wrong, it does move in two directions. You can see, you have to look closely, but you can see you can kind of move his feet from side to side. And then you have the up and down movement. So very cool. Okay. So very cool figure. I know I did hear some complaints online how they were creating new Stormtrooper armors for Rogue One that weren't in the original trilogy, but I like that. I think the bigger you can make the Star Wars universe, the better, you know. So, was every piece of armor seen in episode 4, 5, and 6? No, of course not. There was plenty more we didn't see. So, I love the fact that they're expanding the universe. I think it's great. It's more for us to enjoy. So, all right, guys. But there you go. From Rogue One, this is a Black Series AT-ACT driver. And thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate it. Bye.